SoCalQOL. Happy Wednesday. So excited that you're listening to this podcast because I've got some amazing news. I've got amazing things to share. Before we get into that, we are going to talk about the fact that we are discussing wealth today as our Wealth Wednesday, another alternative to our Wednesday podcasts. Other than just doing Wellness Wednesday, we can do wealth because financial wellness is just as important as all other types of wellness. So just thought I'd clarify that. But I'm really excited because, you know, one of the one of the many entities that SoCalQOL recommends that we get into certain areas financially is because those things aren't determined by the stock market. They're not determined by, necessarily like a retirement plan or just places that aren't aren't either going to hold their isn't going to the result that and a lot of this stems from people like Robert Kiyosaki and Peter Schiff, but it's something also that me personally am very understanding of. And like we've talked about, when you understand something, it empowers you, it gives you the motivation, and you won't hesitate to spend thousands of dollars on something if you know exactly what it's going to do for you. And those are the types of things that we want to promote at SoCalQOL. So, with that introduction being said, the big announcement is SoCalQOL has been, uh, I guess the best way to put it is we've been initiated or we've set up a referral program with goldmoney.com. So, goldmoney.com is an online holding company of precious metals. They also do have cryptocurrency, which I kind of blurted out like last week and took it back, but then said I'll check it out. So as I checked it out, they do buy and sell cryptocurrency. I don't necessarily recommend that, but it's there in case you feel led to do so. But so today's podcast, what I want to do is first off tell you that if you ever do get a holding at Gold Money, it would be amazing if you use the referral code SoCalQOL, just SoCalQOL, and that way we get a little perk for recommending you, and you tell someone else as well who gets a holding that you tell, or even you can sign up for the referral program after you get set up. So it's a win-win-win all the way across the board. But if anything, we just want to help diversify your finances, your investments, and gold is a great way to do that. There's also silver, platinum, and palladium that you can invest in. So with that as well, I just wanted to kind of go through the process that my wife and I went through to set this up, and just give you a really quick overview of the process. And it's really not difficult. It's more so as long as you don't have to like get gold right now, like today, it's a totally easy process. There's no stress. And us, we don't want to add any stress to our lives. So, right off the bat, once you go to their website, there's initially, and I'm going to try to reference their website just so that I myself can, base it off of, essentially what I ended up doing as well. But right off the bat, you do the initial info, your name. Let me try to go to this back thing really quick. So opening a holding and getting verified. So when you do it online, which I think most of you will, you put in your country of origin. The personal details, so, your name, street address, city, um, number of years at the address. You actually have to put in the source of the funds. So the way it works is that you're going to add funds from a certain location. Those funds are then going to be transferred to Goldmoney's virtual bank, and then you're going to use those funds to then purchase the gold. So you're not just going to, click a button right off the bat and it's going to connect to your credit card or it's going to connect to, your bank account. You actually have to transfer funds almost like a wire transfer, and we'll get into that a little bit later, just on how we had to go through that process and the do's and don'ts of that. But you indicate employment status with all your employer's name. You add in some more details, like identifying and verifying your address. So I think I sent them like electric bill or something with my address and my name on it. But it just verifies that you're actually not only at that location, but you've been there long enough to pay bills. So they just recommend using a utility bill. Uh, After you're actually renewing her driver's license, I ended up just doing our passports because I had those relatively available. And instead of doing like a passport and an ID, I just decided to do both passports. You do whatever you think you need to do. Um, you're going to actually take a picture of it on their website, which is pretty straightforward, not too hard. And then you're actually going to capture an image of your face as well. And I can't remember if I had my wife text me a picture of her or something, and then I just held it up to the phone, or I can't remember. But yeah. So once again, going to proof of address, you've got your a utility bill for fixed services, a bank statement, building society statement. I've never heard of that. Insurance company document, local rate assessment or local tax bill, personal tax assessment, tenancy contract or agreement. All that stuff seems way overdue or way over the top, but and they all must be current and dated within the last 3 months. So kind of makes sense, but overall, it's pretty straightforward. Now, I believe the verification process really only took like a week, maybe at the most, and I might have done it on a Friday. They probably didn't even get it till Monday, and then it went through Wednesday or Thursday. So essentially, they probably did it in 2 or 3 business days, but because I did it over the weekend, it felt like a week. So once you get verified, they'll set you up with your account. You go in, you make uh, all the updates to the account if you need to, whether it be passwords or emails or all that good stuff. And then you're going to start transferring funds. Now, at the time, my wife and I, we actually were eligible for a few different, I guess, like credit to cash kind of deals. So they send you certain credit card companies will give you a personalized check that you can use to renovate your house or just it's good as cash. So you use it to buy something cash wise, but it's through your credit card, and then they treat it like it's just cash, or they treat it like it's your credit card, but you're actually using it as cash. And then what that allows you to do is, you pay either no interest for a year to 6 months or whatever it is, or they only charge you like 4%, 3% interest for, 18 months, something that's longer. So we ended up doing that with, I think we did it with a few checks, just because this was back in the mid 2018s. Gold had just basically hit 1200, and as it was around that number, I remember talking to my wife about it, just saying this is what I feel like we need to do as a family and as an investment, because studies are showing that gold is going to go up, but because of the fact that the economy is the way it is right now, because we did QE for so long in the past 10 years after the Great Recession, And essentially, we're in a time where we've printed so much money that those elements combined is going to just like it's like a bouncing effect. Like it's going to take gold and just slingshot it higher than we've ever seen it. So that was my initial pitch slash conversation with my wife, but we both agreed that it was a good investment, a good opportunity, especially because we had this opportunity with our credit card company to do this. So when we did transfer the funds, after I went to my bank and I deposited the checks, it was, like I said, good as cash. So there was money sitting in the bank account, and I started the I guess the wire transfer like from my phone. Like I just went on the website, put in the information, and said wire transfer. Now they don't have fees on wire transfers. I don't believe they shouldn't. So that was, it wasn't like super important that we did it like that day. And I was kind of willing as a first time to try the wire transfer thing. Like I said, it's free, can actually end up being a lot. So for that initial purchase, I was like, well, let's just do the wire transfer thing. So I think like 10 days went by and there was no verification from Goldmoney and there was no, notice from my bank. So I ended up just going in and just asking them, "Hey, there was this wire transfer I was trying to do." And the first question they asked was, "Have you ever done the wire transfer with this company before?" And I said, "No." They're like, "Was the company is it in America?" And technically the I know the holding location that we were going to end up using was in the US. It would be in New York. It's their Brinks holding location. But all the other ones are multinational, international banks all across the world. So a part of me was like, maybe it's not local, maybe it's trying to go to even like Canada, and it's just it's being blocked by Chase. And sure enough, they just did some quick research, and they said, yeah, we flagged it as kind of like a fraud or like an unusual thing, and they said it was Goldmoney's fault for some reason. I called Goldmoney. Ooh, that's fun. Hey, stop. Oh, I don't like it when my phone starts chatting to me. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. I'm actually exporting a video from my phone. So the fact that my phone is trying to talk to me, SIRI is trying to talk to me, is really annoying because I don't want that video to not bounce. Okay, back to the topic. So at the bank, they're telling us it's Goldmoney's fault. So I called Goldmoney. They talked to me thoroughly about the process and why it couldn't have been them, because either they never got a request from my bank or whatever. So I just asked them, "Hey, what are some other methods?" They were like, "Well, you can use PayPal." Now I'm a avid eBay shopper slash user. eBay is pretty straightforward, but there is a fee involved. So I think it's 2.5%, maybe just two. Let me actually see if I can check. I definitely wanted to go over the fees with you guys, anyways. Let's see. So PayPal is 3%. So funding methods, bank wire transfer is free. Credit and debit cards are 3%. PayPal is 3%. And crypto is 0.5%. Yeah, interesting that it says debit cards. I never noticed that. But I either do debit card or PayPal. I can't remember. And actually, I think it might have been my debit card because essentially, yeah, I paid the fee, came off the initial investment, So it wasn't our money wasn't at the level when, gold was at a certain point. Our money wasn't at the level that we deposited, obviously, because of the fee. Plus, so we're going to go over the fees right now dealing rates and storage fees. So right off the bat, there's a buy and sell fee for gold, silver, platinum, and palladium for 0.5%. So it's like whenever you do the equation, or whenever you think about buying gold, you have to add that in on top of what you're spending, or what you're funding. Uh, I'm not going to talk about crypto. Uh, there is a metal exchange fee as well. If your metal exchanges are a convenient way to convert the value of one metal into another at prevailing market prices, Goldmoney offers metal exchanges as one discounted transaction option, avoiding the need to make two transactions and pay twice the fees. It's kind of cool. I don't have any other currencies, or any other precious metals, so I wouldn't do that. They also have currency exchange fees. We didn't have to deal with that though, because we were buying in America. And then we're going to talk about the monthly storage. That's it. Account funding fees we talked about. Account withdrawal fees. I didn't have to deal with that, so we're not going to talk about that. Withdrawal fees, no. Metal payments, no. Bar registration fee, no. Physical redemption. So yeah, so the fees aren't big. 0.5% for a buy and sell fee. It's nothing compared to the amount that you're actually getting gold. And I believe they're the lowest, if not one of the lowest, when it comes to fees, including storage fees. So long story short is we did the initial funding. We bought gold around 1200 when it was at the support level that it was at back in September, October, maybe it was October. And so yeah, so then you initially buy and you're like, cool, I've got X amount of dollars in gold. Woohoo. They have a nice little breakdown. You can do reports. The reports and stuff aren't as user friendly as I would like personally, which, is what it is. It shouldn't be rocket science, but to have to do a report every time you want to see a fee or do all that kind of stuff is kind of annoying. And um, so here's where the funny, well, not funny, but here's where the storage fees come in. So when you read this, it's probably going to give you an idea, which is exactly the same idea that I had. So monthly storage fees for gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. We provide the lowest cost option for storing metal, up to 90% less than ETFs, or exchange traded funds, and competitors. Storing and insuring $100,000 of gold costs approximately $10 per month. Unlike bank deposit insurance, there are no limits to coverage of your vaulted precious metals. So when it comes to gold, their storage fee is anywhere from 0.01% to 0.018%. So right off the bat, they give you these little examples, and it might help you initially, but for me, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough information for me to be like, oh, cool. So all I have to do is this, and all I have to do is pay this amount, and I don't have to pay a storage fee because I'm spending money in gold money or for gold money. So I don't need to worry about the fees, because me investing back into gold money or getting more gold is going to just, X-nay it. But when you just let the fee go through, it's like $5 or whatever. So here's their examples. So for gold, an account with a gold balance of 25,000 would only need to make $500 worth of gold transactions per month to avoid paying a storage fee. So that percentage should be point. Should be 0.01. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. So once again, when I read that, I'm like, okay. So I do the math. I do the math on what that actually is. 500 divided by 25,000, or 25,000 to 500, or whatever the math is. I wish my wife was here because then she could explain it better. But regardless, we did the math and we figured out the price that we needed to spend. I think it was like 60 or $70. But dummy me, I forgot about every time you buy, there's a fee on top of that. There's 0.5% fee. And then on top of that, for the most part, I was using funds from PayPal. So there's a 3% fee on that. So there was an extra $5 or something that I missed. So the first time I purchased the extra amount, I was a couple dollars short. So it didn't fully cover what it would normally cover for the storage fee. Or when you invest more money into the gold money holding, it didn't completely take away the storage fee because I didn't do the full amount or the full percentage that I needed to. So that was kind of a bummer, but it was literally like 0.06. So, and live and learn. I think the next month I didn't have enough funds in my PayPal account to do the full 70 or whatever. So I only did like 35. And so I expected to see, yep, okay, there's a storage fee, 0.0, 12 or something. Super small. But then last month I didn't end up even paying it because Christmas time and all that good stuff. But I think this month we're gonna jump back into it. Hopefully sell more stuff through eBay for my PayPal. But yeah, so when I even called Gold Money to figure out, okay, this is how much money I have in gold. What is the amount I need to spend? And they won't tell you. So that might be frustrating for someone like you who is like me, who can't do the math and just gets frustrated, and all I want to know is the number. Like, I'll pay whatever you want, just tell me what the number is. And I don't believe they're legally allowed to do that. So kudos for Gold Money for even just having the opportunity, but that was a little unfortunate for most non-math whizzes. So but all in all, the experience has been great. I know gold right now is at 1281.95. It's down $1.25 from yesterday, and I believe we're at the resistance level. We're right below 1300, and it's just kind of, for the past few days, it's just been bouncing between 190 or 1295 and 1285. So we're at a resistance level right now, but that'll soon become the support level, especially depending on what happens with the stock market. If the Fed comes out with some whatever talk about quantitative easing or quantitative tightening, if they talk about interest rates, if the president says something, if another country that we're trading with or affects the dollar says something, it's like, or if the dollar goes down, gold's going to shoot right back up. And I know they're down, where is it at? Yeah, I think the US dollar is currently, 0.11 down from yesterday, 95.79, or that's at least the stock index that I'm looking at. But, you know, Apple's at 150, Google's 1076, Tesla 335. It's funny, there's actually a Vanguard precious metals and mining stock that I was actually going to invest in. But right before I was going to do it, and thank God I didn't do it before this happened, but they actually took out it says precious metals on my app, but they took out the precious metals. So I don't even know what it's called now, but all I know is I got a report from Vanguard saying that they're no longer going to be investing in the precious metals side of their precious metals fund. It's hilarious. So sucks to be them, but whatever. And Amazon 1656. So right now the stock market is going back up. But like I said, we're at a resistance level with gold. Once that becomes a support level, once the dollar loses more of its reputation and the stock market goes back down, gold's going to come back up. It's just that teeter totter. But once again, just to round out this episode, I I can't explain my passion enough around the three kind of pillars of investing not only in the financial your financial future, but even in yourself, because other than the commodity side of diversifying your finances and investing in things like real estate, uh the other thing is businesses and investing in yourself by having your own business, hiring your own employees, and building up a company that can live as long as you are and then some is, I think, super important for our wellness. Just knowing what that does for even me, and I even had a conversation with my wife today about it. I'm employees in an organization or a company or a business that standards are dropped, and it just feels like people don't care as much as someone like me. And that's I don't want to say it's nothing against other business owners or other organizations, but there is something to be said about the wellness of your employees. And if the wellness of your employees is bad, your company is probably not the best. And anyone who says that it is, and it's just the employee's fault or their emotional intelligence, or there's so many excuses that the higher ups can give to basically badmouth their employees. But I think if you're in that boat, if you're the kind of person that has a problem with lower standards, struggles with the authorities that tell you to do one thing and then tell someone else who's in the same position as you to do another, and there's just miscommunication left and right, and that's not the kind of culture that you want to build. But SoCalQOL's goal financially for our wellness there is to help teach people how to start businesses, to teach people how to invest in real estate, and to also teach people how to invest in commodities like precious metals and gold. So we hope we've done a little bit of that today. The first little introduction, once again, to round out the whole purpose of this being Wealth Wednesday, is if you do go to goldmoney.com and you do open a holding account with them, please, please, please use our referral code SoCalQOL, all one word, to just reference us as the instigator of your purchase, obviously in a good way. And yeah, we just really appreciate it. It'll help us continue doing what we're doing like this right now. And yeah, I'm also thinking slowly but surely we might end up starting a Patreon account just for like even the social media content. If you enjoy our social media and you would like to see more of it, or even request, you know, having someone pay a small Patreon fee a month just so that they can request certain videos, like I'm totally down for that, or even subject matter or specialists that we can find, or anything in wellness that you want to see happen, other than us answering questions for you. I think that might be a cool thing. So I'm gonna keep bouncing around with that idea in my head. But you may see us, put that in a little spot in the beginning or end or middle for you guys to help support us as as like a little advertisement for ourselves. But anyways, guys, we just hit 30 minutes. I really appreciate you, and thank you for listening. We will see you next time. That's a wrap. We love y'all. Peace.